Hello, everybody. Welcome back to WowieTalk. Ro just said that nothing he does pleases me, and I don't know what to make of that.
Perhaps we should discuss it over the course of the next 10 to 15 minutes each.
Thank you, Ro. Now we will move on to our topic of the day, which but the waveform. I can see the waveform, and it looks like I'm a robot.
Oh, wow.
Hey. Or you're tracking
Me.
rhythm guitars, am I right?
Nice
Do we have
one.
a cricket chirp we could put in there?
No, I mean, maybe.
Oh my.
Popular
Jiminy.
songs versus songs you like that
Yeah.
are obscure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Who wants to start with that?
Julie, you said that you were struggling with that. So.
I said I'm struggling with that right now. That's correct. So I'm looking for something to do for my next song, and I wanted ideally something already with lyrics, although I could potentially write my own, but that's that's a whole other universe that I'm not well versed in at the moment.
Well versed.
No.
So
It's only been like a minute.
I know, Carlos. Just stop yourself before it starts, okay? Do us all a favor, yeah.
Sorry, mommy.
So yeah, and I had thought of all these great ideas. There's all these great songs, but a lot of them are from OSTs of very obscure video games. One of them being one of my more recent favorite indie games that I'm gonna kind of plug here right now, Dreamfall Chapters, which is the third game in the Longest Journey series. The Longest Journey is a 1990s point-and-click adventure game, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. And this is the third kind of installment of that series of games, and it's been a long time coming. And they did crowdfunding in order to fund this game, and the music is absolutely fantastic, beyond gorgeous, moves me to tears within the context of the game and without the context of the game. And so this music is stuff that I so badly want to do, and I want people to feel the same connection that I do, and maybe even more so.
Right.
That being said, the one song that I'm really right now wanting to do next, the original version of the song has 8,000 views on YouTube. So
wow.
this is like the ultimate obscure song.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a metric that I often use when like judging popularity.
Yeah,
of a
yeah.
song.
You go and see how much does the original have on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's kind of it's a good metric. So
You only bring that up if it's obscure, of course. Like, we don't give that a second thought for like Pokemon or something.
yes,
Do
absolutely.
we?
No, not really. So what
So
I'm
it depends on the songs within the soundtrack. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Continue.
true. There's more obscure ones within the
True.
soundtrack. Yeah. So what I'm
Hidden gem.
battling with right now is, so my subscriber count, it's not, it's growing, right? But it's not something to be bragging about at this point. And am I better off waiting until the subscriber count is something where I would actually have the influence to boost the popularity of that soundtrack and that song? Is that,
Yeah, I totally see where
do you know what I'm saying? Because that would be like, hey, go play this game, guys. This is seriously, like, even go right back to the first in the series and start playing these games. And hey, if anyone in the comments is listening, go play these freaking games. I'm telling you right now, all you guys, The Longest Journey seriously moved me. This game moves me. And the soundtrack to that one too, and it's so 90s, but it's so like perfectly 90s. I like all the
I'm not even in the comments and I want to play it.
yeah,
You're not even in the 90s and you want to
yeah, you're not even.
I'm a 98
You didn't
kid,
even
okay?
like.
close enough.
Yeah, so
Close, yeah.
so that's all I'm thinking is, okay, do I wait on this one? I mean, I want to do it so badly, but in my heart it kind of tells me to wait, and then if I have more influence, I'm able to do the track, and people maybe at that point will watch it no matter what, right? Like if I did it right now, it would, I envision, get 300 views over a few weeks and then stay stagnant at that. And
True.
I mean, that's 300 more people who are exposed to the idea of the game, but that's not what I would want more
Yeah.
reach than that. So
Right. I don't think that's bad at all. And I think like everyone has a game eventually that's really special to them that may or may not even be like a good idea as far as like, oh, this will totally get me views or this won't. And I as far as, again, I think we've talked about this before, and for those of you guys listening, this is actually like a re-recording now that we have our stuff all together. But like a month ago, I did a request from a patron, and I will always do requests. Like, that's not a question ever. Like, oh, you picked a really unpopular song, dude. What are you trying to like get me kicked out of my house? But it was
imagine if you covered unpopular songs, then YouTube would shut down your channel.
Oh no.
But no, like, okay, so Trauma Center got like 200 views, which is even for like me, I would consider that to be moderately low as expected, and it didn't like rise or anything. And then I did Overwatch, which is like every single person's like who plays PC games actively like is going all over it. And it's like 2,500 the wonderful people who made it to retweet it, and it's like kind of cool. And then people probably expect more of Overwatch now. So eventually it like feels good at first, and it is a smart move, because then all of a sudden I'm growing more. People are like, oh, wow, this guy makes covers fast. He makes popular ones. Maybe I should work with him now. And it opens up those bridges. But as tempting as that is, I don't feel almost any musical fulfillment from doing that cover, except for the fact that I did it with a cool friend of mine. Like, what you have to ask yourself is like, I'm not going to say, do you feel lucky? But like, can you create content you love for content others love? And I really think it's possible. I mean, like, for example, I mean, today I did Ocarina of Time.
Yes.
Like, boo, freaking, like, most popular thing. But I picked, like, a song that I'm pretty sure nobody has done. Or, and I don't want to say that because I hear that all the time when I've done songs. And I'm like, oh, I did it. But
you just never saw it.
So, and like it lets you experiment and stuff. So I really do think, like, to wrap it up, like, the most musical fulfillment, happiness you can get is looking at what's popular and looking what you enjoy. And then, just, if you're going to do what you want, but your objective is still to grow as a channel, then try to find a happy medium.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say about the bringing up a medium between those two things. Or, I guess, like, everything is a balance,
Yes. Absolutely.
Like, in terms of like choosing popular songs versus songs you love. Like, I had the discussion with the Sabago a while ago. Like, we talked about, like, when I was doing a bunch of Undertale covers. When it was.
What was that?
So back when that happened,
Plug.
like, oh my god, the video's not even out yet. So when when I was doing that, Sab started to like told me that I don't think that some of these videos are like your best work, and then I agreed with her on some of them, and some of them I disagree. And I can safely say that, like, I did get like lured in by like the following that I started to get following a lot of the Undertale stuff, which I think is good for the channel, right? But in terms of like my own artistic fulfillment, like, maybe not so much. So
Yeah.
there's like
I'd agree with her for like a few,
for a couple,
and I'd agree with you for a few. That's the thing. I mean, it is subjective. But
I guess to go back to Julie's situation, what I think you should do is I think you should make the cover, but make it really, really good.
Yeah? Just make it really good.
Like, unless you think that you could make the cover better by waiting on it.
No, I don't. Yeah, not really at this point.
that's actually another good discussion, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I felt with songs like Dragon Roost Island. Stuff that is just, like, I think is so good that I would, like, be afraid to, like, touch it,
Yes.
But, I mean, that's a whole other discussion. But for Julia,
that is actually a good discussion for
Dearly
another day.
beloved.
Yes.
So, like,
Oh my God, yes.
episode 10 or something. Mark my words. Anyway, I would say do it now. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Tara,
what do you think?
Well, I mean, I agree with Carlos. Like,
as you should.
it doesn't. Yeah. If you're gonna take more time to make something better, then I guess that is different than just waiting for your fan base to get bigger. But I do see Julia's point with, like, if you do something obscure, you want to make sure that you you at least introduce a good amount of people to that obscure thing and get them like exposed to it. And at least she's not turned off by the fact that it's obscure and be like, oh, I love it, but I'm not going to cover it because it's obscure. You know what I mean? Like Julia, like you're still going to cover it, which is good. It's just a matter for you, like when you think you want to do that. I say if you love it, no matter what kind of game it is, if it's obscure or if it's super popular, like if it speaks to you, then I mean that's grounds enough for me to cover something.
Totally, yeah.
I mean, I do kind of veer more on like the popular side, or just like the standards, the tracks that everyone knows pretty much.
Yeah.
That's like the way to grow.
It is.
Yeah,
that is the
for
way
sure.
to grow.
And that's
practice
how like related videos on YouTube work. Like there are certain standards that people who listen to video game music know, and based on the popularity of that original track, they might see in the suggested videos, oh, someone did a cover of this. However, if the original song isn't that popular, then like the chance of your video showing up in suggested videos, like the chance of it showing up may be high, but the chance of someone being in that section of YouTube is probably pretty low.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Now, let's ask a flip question, like a fun question. Has there ever been a cover you can think of, just like one, where you knew, like specifically, it was really popular, and that in itself made you hesitate? Like you were like, oh, the song's really popular, everyone's might have already covered it, and
Oh, yes, I
like
know what you mean.
hesitated.
The entire Live at Grillby's album.
Yeah.
Fair. I would say you were like fairly close
I guess
to the first,
some of
but
the tracks.
I mean,
Yeah.
Snowden Town, I was really nervous about.
I understand.
I mean,
yeah.
it's not
I
something
feel
that
you.
a ton of people have covered, but it is a track on Undertale. Like, it's
Snow Buddy.
It's something that everyone knows, and I was pretty nervous for a while trying to get it to sound good, and I wanted it to sound a little different, but still kind
Yeah.
of capture like the same essence of like the jolly and like all happy
Yeah.
Snowden Town.
Uniqueness being your influence
yeah.
then to
Yeah,
improve.
exactly. And it was cool actually finishing it, and like the biggest thing for me was actually adding the electronic elements to it. And I think
Yeah.
that actually like really made my cover like stand out
Of course.
apart from like everyone else that has covered it. I mean,
That
like
was
I
a
said, there's
very
not a
good
ton
cover.
of people, but
Yeah.
that's the one that I kind of
That's one of my faves from you, Tara.
Aww.
Yeah, with
Aw.
regards to that specific thing, I had expressed that kind of worry, and I can't remember about what cover or what specifically, to Zerachi, plug Zerachi.
Yeah.
And he
He's a
told
cutie.
me, he said, let me tell you, never stop yourself from doing something because you think everyone else has already done it. Because you can always say something new, right? Like never let that stop you. That's, you might hear from people, oh, another Megalovania, oh, another, you want to do Megalovania, just do it. Like it's,
Yeah.
like screw everyone else, right? Like, I mean, unless that's really going to affect you.
I mean, in tandem, yeah, business-wise, just do it. But
yeah.
you.
That is
Yeah.
another aspect of it. So like
Yeah.
the business side of YouTube is something that heavily favors the more popular songs over the obscure ones.
And that's
Right.
another talk we can probably do that you have a lot to say about, Carlos. But I have another question.
hit us up, Julia. Last
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, last thing.
Yeah. My question is, have you guys ever taken the fact that, okay, this is a track that I have to do for maybe an album or something, and this is not my favorite track, but I'm actually going to let that motivate me. I'm going to make it into a track that I like. Because I know I've done that plenty of times.
Honestly, I would say no. I
Yeah?
would say no.
That's
I
interesting.
don't think it's like ever happened. Typically, like I have a really hard time coming up with something that I'm happy with if I don't like I have a really hard time arranging stuff from like the Mega Man era where it's just like a melody, not only like and like a simple bass part, just because there's so like. In my opinion, it's very harmonically limited and there's so like not enough to work with. I
Yeah.
love to like turn it into something that I really like, but I just have such a hard time like bringing myself to do that.
Could you
I-
give a song example? Like, are you talking
I did
Bubble
Crash Man Blues a long time ago.
Oh,
Where I
yeah,
took
yeah.
Crash Man and I changed it and like it was okay, but I just had a hard time taking something that's so simple and
Yeah.
making it into something that I would typically do.
Isn't that why you or I think Sab suggested you have 3 soloists to like fill it in?
Well, I mean, I couldn't think of anything else to put in the arrangement just because it was so simple.
So I like taking that as a challenge. I like that. Like, I mean, so for me,
I wish
Yeah.
I was good at that.
for me,
Yeah.
Sonic Boom, like just taking
That was so good.
Yeah.
I know.
like
Stretched,
just taking that.
60
Like I
minutes.
just okay. So honestly, this is being honest with any Sonic music. I have never felt like this is great music. Sorry if I'm offending anyone, but this is just the case. And Sonic
Yeah,
Boom,
I
I was
agree.
like, well, there's a female singing, so that's my cover, and I had to do Sonic. That was
Right,
like
there we go.
that was literally it. And I was like, well, okay, this track is okay. Like, I mean, as it is, it's fun, right? But I'm not connected to it. So how can I make myself connected to
Right.
it, right? And that's
And
what I
you
did.
totally did.
Oh,
I
man.
freaking like. Oh, it's just so
Wowie.
genius. I love it.
Plug.
But yeah,
All the
no,
plugs.
I'll give an example for me. It was also an album, and like the first thing I did, I won't say the song name because it's not quite out yet. But it was a song from like a 2013 game, like one of those like fighting big bangy, like almost electronic
Bangy?
hyper produced sort of songs.
Bangy?
You know, like with tons of samples and drums and stuff. And eventually, I always try to ask myself like, why would anyone want to listen to mine when they can listen to the original?
Yes, that's a
And
huge
it
thing.
gets very difficult for guitarists and like rock instrumentalists when you're trying to cover a rock song. That's why I, for the longest time, really avoided doing those. But with this one, it was like kind of my only choice. So the song was originally like very Nepalese and like Tibetan monk. Carlos, calm down. And
You said Tibetan, and it made me go, wow.
yeah.
I just said that.
So I ended up rewriting lyrics in Hindi for it, and I started like changing all of the heavy duty like high sample drums into like traditional like I don't know what you'd call it, like Hindustani instruments and like tablas and stuff. Just like every time I get into a roadblock with something like that, especially when you're being forced to, I think what you mean by the motivation, it's like me trying to seek out a way to make it sound really different.
Did you almost
Like,
say
About to say
determination?
Yes.
Did you cut
My
yourself up? Yes,
Yes.
yes.
I can't say that word.
No,
It's
you
a
can't.
Bad
It's a bad word
word
now. It's the D word.
Bad.
It's a wait. What? It's
The D word is the new D
Oh
word.
my gosh.
D word Felipe De Leon.
Stop.
No. Pobscurity versus Opularity.
Stop.
So
Stop.
on the, is there any more
Yeah, closing
important
remark.
points of discussion?
Do what makes you happy, ultimately.
Basically.
If you're gonna do a popular song as a businessy friendly way of putting it, do it yourself.
Make
Do it
sure
in
it's
everything
damn
good.
good.
Yeah.
damn good.
Make
Make
sure
sure
it's
you're
damn
proud
good.
of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's just make stuff you're proud of. That's you know the bottom line.
Yeah. Make something you'd show your grandma.
Ooh, grandmas.
We're cutting that part out.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Nothing I do pleases you.